I would say my best piece of advice for people who are just trying to stay motivated would be to be willing to work through adversity.
Setting attainable goals.
I think it's really important to accept who you are, because I feel like sometimes that is a big challenge in itself.
Take it little by little, because from previous experience, I know that if you try to do too much at once, you'll get discouraged and you'll kind of stop and be like, I can't do this. But if you just take little teeny steps, then you'll get there without even knowing it.
I think for me, it's setting a plan 100%. If you don't set a plan, you're never going to do it. You're going to say, I'm going to do it tomorrow.
Find something new that you can enjoy, and you'll see growth. It'll be slow and steady, but slow and steady is better than just constant like this.
Don't look at the end point. Kind of know what that end point is, know what that end goal is, no matter what it is, and then go back to the beginning and kind of take it one step at a time.
My piece of advice for staying motivated would be just to get after it every single day. Just keep on trying to be a better version of yourself.
That is a very inspiring video, but where should you start? Let's watch this video from Khan Academy about setting SMART goals.
Welcome back. So we've learned that it's important to keep working through your frustrations by using the right learning strategies. The more you work through your frustration, the more your brain grows, right? But it can be difficult to work through that frustration without a clear direction. That's why it's important to make SMART goals. It's an acronym. Goes like this: specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, timely. Because look, you can wish all you want and say, one day I'm going to go to the moon, and you can want that like your life depended on it. But a wish is not a goal. An example of a moon plan that consists of SMART goals would go something like this. In 20 years, I will have studied enough physics and chemistry, flown jet planes in the Air Force, worked out 4 times a week, and gotten a job as an astronaut for NASA. And this will enable me to fly a spacecraft to the moon and put my feet on it for science reasons. Specific. Put your feet on the moon. Measurable. Are your feet touching the surface of the moon? Actionable. It is actionable, that is to say doable, to study physics and chemistry, enlist in the Air Force, and go to the gym. Realistic. It's hard, but it's not impossible to become an astronaut. Timely. Here's where more realism kicks in. You won't be able to go to the moon as an astronaut overnight. 20 years seems a little more reasonable. But let's take this back to a more sensible timescale and look at our friend Thinky Pinky. Hey, buddy. TP here is interested in pull-ups, wants to be able to lift their entire mass with just the arms, this one. But pull-ups are hard. So let's take a look at Thinky Pinky's reflection journal. Quote, I want to be able to do 2 consecutive pull-ups by the end of the year by practicing pull-ups at the gym 3 times per week. Why is this a SMART goal? S is for specific. TP wants to work on pull-ups, and they're not interested in biking or weight training. There's one skill that Thinky Pinky wants to work on, and that's pull-ups. M is for measurable. What's the metric for TP's success? 2 in a row. 2 pull-ups, 1 right after the other. You've either done it or you haven't. Measurable. A is for actionable. Can it be broken down into individual tasks? Yeah. Going to the gym 3 times a week to practice feels very actionable indeed. R is for realistic. TP's not training to lift a car. Just some pull-ups. T is for timely. There's a time limit on this. Thinky Pinky wants to do this in a year's time. Altogether, that's a SMART goal you got there, TP. With the power of persistence, SMART goals, and the right kind of help, you can do anything you set your mind to.
Let's review those essential questions again. Specific. What do you want to accomplish? Who may need to be included? When do you want to do this? Why is this a goal? Measurable. How can you measure progress and know if you've successfully met your goal? Actionable. Do you have the skills required to achieve the goal? If not, can you obtain them? What is the motivation for this goal? Is the amount of effort required on par with what the goal will achieve? Realistic. Why am I setting this goal now? Is it aligned with my overall objectives? Timely. What is the deadline, and is that a realistic deadline? Now let's look at some examples. This first example is of an academic goal. As Thinky Pinky explained in the video, we can't just have a general goal. So if you want to be a better student, you'd have to break that down with the SMART. This one would specifically outlines that you'll target your lowest class average in order to raise my overall GPA. Specific, I want to improve my overall GPA so I can expand my college options. Measurable, I will earn a B or better on my midterm exam. Actionable, I will meet with my math tutor every week to help me focus on my weak spots. Realistic, meeting with a math tutor every week is realistic. Timely, I still have 6 weeks until midterms, which leaves plenty of time to complete each of these SMART for this goal. Next is a personal goal. If your personal goal might be that overall you want to be less stressed, it'd be important to pick that apart and specifically look at one thing at a time. So let's say you want to focus on sleep. The SMART goal could be, I will target my sleep habits in order to get a proper amount of sleep. So breaking that down, specific, I want to improve my nighttime routine so I get better sleep. Measurable, I will complete my new nighttime routine every night for 3 weeks. Actionable, I will listen to relaxing music 20 minutes before bedtime, put away all screens, and have lights out by 11 p.m. Realistic, and yes, doing 3 things for a bedtime routine is very realistic. Timely, I will mark my calendar off each night for 3 weeks. If at that time this routine is not working, I will make adjustments. So these are both great examples of comprehensive SMART goals that you can see the specificity of, you can measure them, you can take action on them, they're realistic, and you can time them in a reasonable amount of reasonable time frame. Now that you know the components of a SMART goal, we are going to practice creating one during today's activity. Before we get to that though, what is the use of creating a SMART goal if you can't keep track of them? Here are a couple suggestions for you to keep track of your goals. I personally use the Notes app on my phone to track progress. I love using the emojis and it works really well for me. You can also use a Google Doc or Sheet. Free phone apps like Strides, Way of Life, Goals on Track are great, but be careful with these. Some of them may have premium features or add-on features that are not really necessary. Also, if you prefer to have things on paper, there are some great paper trackers like the one on your screen now. And there's also a great paper tracker that you can print and or use in Google Docs in the Schoology folder for this activity today. So let's get into creating a goal for yourself. Maybe this is something that your tutorial class can come back to later in the semester. Check in. How did that SMART goal work out? Did you accomplish the goal? Did you need to adjust? And remember, it's okay to not achieve your goal the first time, but it's not okay to keep doing the same old thing. So if the first doesn't work out, adjust your SMART and try again.